Welcome back to Star Trek Online, everybody. I'm your host, the Housecoat Gamer, and you know what? I may as well just show you the damn ship. The Diomias-Class bio-warship. A friend of mine calls this thing a piece of crap, because it looks like a piece of crap. Well, in some angles, yes, you're not wrong, but that must be an incredibly painful one. This is the core ship of a planet buster. We'll have Tarkin eat your heart out. I'm sorry, a planet-busting superweapon made up of 4 ships. Well, 10, really. Now, I recently got my hands on this cruiser abomination via the, well, Lost in the Delta Quadrant bundle, along with a few other boats. But at the moment, I am more focused on, well, this thing. This is the bread and butter cruiser of the Undine fleet, species 8472, first encountered by everyone's favorite crew, the USS Voyager, in 2371. Well, 73. I'm just talking about earlier ships. And this particular model was first used to blow up a Borg planet, which also led to 7 of 9 joining Voyager's crew, and we all know how that ended. As a TV tropes person once said, especially when it came to Jerry Ryan and 7 of 9's character development arc, come for the fan service, stay for the incredibly well-written character development. This thing is an abomination, and I'm fully admitting it. And for some reason it has pilot abilities. There's a good reason I don't bother showing the bridges. This thing is an organic mess. And these things are usually piloted by one person, or rather one Undine. According to the Doctor, species 8472 has 6 genders. You know what? If I continue on that line, we're gonna get into some things that I don't want to start. This is probably not going to be one of my most liked vids, but I would be surprised. At any rate, this is a cruiser. No battle cruiser capabilities here, it's just pure beamboat. But it might be maneuverable enough to unleash the might of those beams on some poor bastard. As for its consoles, the Enhanced Fluidic Conduit Projector. The normal version just creates a fluidic rift and has no passives. Oh, I know what you were thinking. There was only a Tier 6 version? No, there was a Tier 5, and for a long time I wanted to get my hands on it. Then I discovered it was Lobby, and yeah, that's one of the 2 ways you can get this ship. Lost in the Delta Quadrant, and Lobby. I obviously chose the less expensive option. Now I know what you're thinking. How can this be the less expensive option? The ship costs 9,000 Lobby. Do you know how many Do you know how many boxes you have to open? How many lockbox keys you have to get just to get 900 Lobi? Thought so. Moving on to more important matters. This does not contain the ship surrounding Death Beam, but it can equip it. There's just one problem. You require a Nicor bioship, Tier 6 or Tier 5, in order to use it, so I won't be showing that off here, or in any of my other vids. That said, I do have a Tier 5 version of the Nicor on my STD tune, mostly to make a statement of how much I loathe STD and think of it as a cash grab. In fact, that particular tune also has a Tier 5 Decora, for the exact same reason. After all, back in the day, these ships were a very big statement of wealth. But in my case, it's a symbol of persistence. After all, I worked to get my hands on this ship. And is it worth getting? I haven't really tried it. I haven't had much excuse to. Mostly because I've been focused on other matters. You might have noticed that I'm on my Jem'Hadar, or at least a Jem'Hadar. I am performing the 20-hour fleet thing. But yeah, enough about that. You want to get it? And you want to get it for every tune? Go for the Lost in the Delta Quadrant bundle. It comes with 3 other options, 2 of which I will not be discussing. Well, 3 of which I will not be discussing just yet. Why? 1 I didn't get, and the other 2 I'm saving for another day. Housecoat Gaming, signing off.